friends, today we are going to be talking about texture. So does anyone remember what texture is? Texture is how something feels. So if I were to run my hand along my fluffy sweater, I would say that it feels soft and cozy and a little mushy. So that is the texture of my sweater. But I'm here in my house and I want to show you all the different textures of some of the plants I have. So first we're going to start with my snake plant. And my snake plant's pretty cool because it has all of these fun spikes on it. And when I look closely, I'll see that there's all of these rigid lines in here. So there's ridges. And also it's a bit bumpy on the side, but also kind of smooth. So it's interesting because all different objects can feel different ways in different parts. So I would say this one has all these ridges so that it's a little lumpy and bumpy. And then here's my snake plant. So if I move on to my next plant, my pothos, this one's fun because it has all these leaves on it. And my pothos has a bit of a sheen to it, so that means it's shiny. So if I take a look, I'll see that my sheen is showing right there. And when I run my fingers along this, my pothos leaves actually feel a bit sticky, which is weird because it's a plant, right? So we don't normally think of a plant as being sticky, but this one has a bit of a sticky, waxy feel, so it feels a bit waxy, kind of like our crayons. But it also has these lines on the back of the leaves, so it has a little bit of a bump to it as well. So that's my pothos. And the next plant I'm going to look at is called my Grandma Cactus. So my Grandma Cactus, I'm not going to run my finger on it, but I'm going to take a look at it and I'm going to try to imagine what it would feel like. So think about what a cactus would feel like. So you think, do you think it would be smooth? Do you think it would be fluffy? I mean, it does look like it would be pretty fluffy, but if I look really closely, there's all these little needles coming off the side of my cactus. So if I were to run my hand across that, I would actually get all those little pricklies. So it would feel sharp and pointy and prickly. Even though this one looks super fluffy, which it is underneath all those spikes, but to get to those spikes, the fluffiness, I'd have to touch the spikes and I really don't want to do that. I also have some fake plants in my house. So I have this really fun one right here, and it's a ball. And when I run my fingers on it, the first thing I feel is that it's wiggly. It's making some really funny noises. So it's wiggly. I would say it's also, the leaves itself are pretty smooth, but because of all of the different leaves together, I would say this is pretty bumpy. So I would say this one's wiggly, bumpy, and kind of smooth at the same exact time. So this is definitely a fun one. And the last thing we're going to look at is this little plant right here. So this plant, it has these little spiky pieces on it, but when I feel it, they're not too sharp like my cactus, so I can run my finger on it. And this one actually feels very dry. So unlike my pothos, which felt sticky, this one feels very dry and it's kind of bumpy, and in some spots it is a little bit sharp. So I want to be careful when I run my fingers on this one. This one also makes a really fun noise too, almost like an instrument. So this is my last plant. Now I want you to think about different textures. Do you think that your clothes have textures? Every outfit you have, every single thing you own, do you think it has a texture? I mean, if you rub your hand on different stuff, it may all feel similar, but it is all different textures. So I want you to go around your house. I want you to find 5 things with different textures and make sure you bring them to class so we can discuss what textures you found. All right, friends, thanks for joining me in my house and meeting my plants. I'll see you next time. Bye.